Okay, now it's when comes a bit of disappointment with this system of Stripe, because so far we generated a payment that looks good, and but I had to put manually the email of the customer to whom I want to charge, and here it comes the problem. You would expect, obviously, that when I'm in the process of registration, Stripe, it's notified that in the customer section, okay, that we create a new customer. That's what I was expecting. Like the first time I was seeing Flutter Flow. So when you come to the action, okay, you go to the actions, open. I want to add an action of Stripe. And you expect some sort of action called create customer, there is none. There is none. So they only and that this is a bit disappointing because and I guess that they are working on it, I guess. But and that's bad news for us, because it means that in order to make this meaningful, so that this, so far, like right now, this is only useful for donations and for almost nothing else, because how does the front end know if like we want to automate this? We don't want to create manually in Stripe the customers. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. So so what we have to do is to go back to the backend. I'm really sorry, but we need to go back to develop our own code that creates a customer in the Stripe platform. From Flutterflow, the action is not provided. Of course, it would be possible to do it through custom code, but I believe it's more stable and more rigid if we do it through the backend code that we have already. So let's go back to the code, or maybe we don't need to code. We can even interact with the. Perhaps we can interact with the Stripe API directly. Let's see. Let's ask our good old friend or new friend ChatGPT. Can I interact directly with the API of Stripe? And if so, please give me an example of how to create a customer. That's what we need. We need to create a customer in the moment that we create, when we register a user, right? We could do it through code in the backend, but yes, I realized that perhaps we can avoid all that logics that could take us easily another half an hour of working, and perhaps we can make it faster and more straightforward if we interact directly with the Stripe API. Here I'm getting an example in Python, which is not a language I'm not very familiar with. But yeah, this is the code, but what I want to interact is directly through an HTTP. This is okay, but I want to interact directly through an HTTP request. Could you give me the example? Nah, it's doing, yeah, it's telling me, yeah, of course, I need to do it through some HTTP client, and yes, this is important, the bearer. Okay, this is the object, this is the URL where I need to point. This is the object that I should send. Okay, the email, you see, the address, right? In the headers, we need to provide an authorization with our API key. I guess will be the private key or the secret key. We will test this. And the application URL encoded. Okay, how can we try this with Flutterflow? Can we? Yes. Where in the API calls. In the API calls, I can create a Stripe API call of post, right? And I will call it Stripe create customer. Let's begin. Stripe URL. Which URL I want to communicate with? This one, customers. Okay. By the way, you can if you go to the API docs, okay, stripe.com/API/docs, I think, or /docs. Okay, and you go to the part of customers, post customers. This is what will happen. I mean, the ChatGPT got the information from here. So if you are an old school person and you don't trust ChatGPT and you want to invest your time in understanding the API, go here, because this is what we will do now. This is the object, we will make a post, and for the authentication, I'll follow these steps. Okay, authentication, we need we only need the secret key. Secret key. Yeah, SKey test, right? Secret key. And we need to provide it in somewhere. Related video authentication. Oh, this is new. They provide you with a video. Well, I think I would not even need this because I can do it directly, but just in case, here you can find the videos explaining. But let's go back to the action. We're here, the URL, it's this one, great. The body, I will get this example. Okay, I'll get this example. In the body, in the variables, we will need an email variable of type string that and I believe that the only fields that are required, what is the docs? In the customer object, I want to see which ones are the only ones required. Here, create a customer. This is optional, even the email is optional. So all the fields are optional. Everything is optional. Well, then I will only send the email. It can only be 512 characters. Okay, I'll only use the email. Much easier for me. So variables, only the email, and in the body, it's a form. This is the format. It's not JSON. Before we were using JSON, but in this case, it's x-ww-form URL encoded. How do I know this? Well, because I was trying before, and also here is telling us that this is the format. It's strange, eh? It's strange because normally these things are in JSON format. It's a bit weird, but that's how it is. Okay, this is the format. So I will provide only this email, and what else? I need to put in the headers the authorization. In the authorization, bearer, space, and my API key. Okay, so in the body, the parameter will be the email from the variable of email. Great, this is what we will send, and in the headers, we will add a header of authorization. Okay, 2 dots, bearer, and I think it's the secret key. So I'll go back here, developers, API keys, test mode, secret key. I'll copy this, click to copy, space, and I think should go with double quotes. Let me see. Yeah, double quotes. Exactly. Double quotes, double quotes. Double quotes, double quotes. Okay, like this. I'll test it. Headers, response test, email value, customer3@gmail.com. I'm here in response and test, and I will test it. Let's see what I get back. Test API call. Look at this. Success. Jesus, I can't believe that it worked in the first try. I cannot believe it. Let's go back here to customers. Yeah, look at this. Customer3@gmail.com. Brilliant, brilliant. Believe me that I was expecting to be half an hour trying and trying. So remember, API call definition, I provided the URL. In the body, I only provided the email. I could also add the name, why not? But what is the format? Name. Okay, I'll now try with the name. Name, and we will create a variable of name, because we also have the name of this person, of course. String, body, name comes from the variable of name. Great. And I'll save this. Okay, remember to save. Sometimes you have to save, sometimes not. In this case, you need to save. And I'll test it. I'll say customer4, and name will be Johannes. Test, success, and we refresh. Johannes, customer4. Fantastic. What does it mean to have a customer? That now, when we try to make the payment, I have to change some logics in the next video. I will integrate this, because the important now is that we have defined the API call. It's here, it's saved, it's working. Okay, when you do the test API call and then you go back to the Stripe dashboard, you see that the customers are being created. Okay, that's the important part, and it's working. And now we will see how to integrate this with Flutterflow.